All right, it is Saturday, October 24th. It's a rainy day in Austin, Texas. We've got Bruce and Evelina Warren here today. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. So today we're gonna talk a little about your relationship, how it came to be, and
Yes.
how you've maintained it for so many years.
Excellent.
Okay. And how long's it been? You've been together now? 31?
31 years.
31 years?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's start back 31 years. Okay. How did y'all meet?
We met through a mutual friend of Evelina's,
Okay.
who I had asked out.
You asked her friend out?
Yeah.
Yes,
I had several
Charlotte.
classes with her in college, and she never said anything about a boyfriend or having a boyfriend. We'd gone to lunch several times, hung out at the student center. I might be embellishing a bit. But, once I officially asked her out, she declined, but said she had a friend that she wanted me to meet, and that was Evelina.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
Yeah.
So in that instance, what made Evelina stand out more than Charlotte?
Or her sense of humor, fun nature,
Lack of a boyfriend.
lack of a
That's important.
my
Yeah.
lack of a girlfriend.
Okay. So then it just well, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
We met, and then I guess the first time was when we met for lunch.
Yes. So
We had lunch at
Evelina delivered flowers. She had a part-time job in college delivering flowers to hospitals, and I worked at a hospital, so I used to see this little cute girl driving a flower van every day up to the hospital, and I just happened to time it to when I knew she was going to be there.
But Charlotte introduced us.
Yeah.
And then we met for lunch.
Yeah.
And then we met for dinner.
Yeah.
I guess our first date
Which you almost missed because of Helen.
because of Helen.
Helen.
Her best friend
Our best friend. Yeah.
lived in another town 25 minutes away. Evelina didn't have time in between getting off of work and meeting me to go home and change, and so Helen was in charge of bringing her clothes, preferably ironed, and
This dress I was gonna wear.
she didn't do it, and she was supposed to meet me at Bennigan's in Beaumont, Texas, and
Helen rolled up like 5 minutes before I was supposed to meet you, and the dress was like in a ball. I told her bring it ironed, and it was like one of those Mexican wedding dresses, those they were real popular
Back in the
the
day.
80s. And I was like, Helen, I can't wear this. I have to drive out to my Sissy's, and iron it. And so I was late for our date, and he almost left because I was like an hour and a half late.
Whoa, that's...
yeah, not like 20 minutes.
So Helen almost blew it for us.
So, I mean, it's good that y'all stay together. And once you were, well, yeah, you could have left.
I could have
Yeah, I
left.
could've left.
As a matter of fact, I was talking to Kim Lorenz,
Kim,
whose dad worked at the hospital as a pharmacist, and she felt very bad for me that I'd been stood up.
she was the hostess there, and she
Yes.
was like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be
Yeah.
here tonight?"
Is it at this place? At this time? Wow, she's really late now.
Okay, so from there, once you actually started dating, what were some early highlights and some tensions? Obviously, you almost missing the first date was kind of a
tension.
yeah,
Yeah,
tense moment.
and that's not changed. She's been late for 31 years.
But he hasn't gone anywhere.
She's always late.
Oh, tell him the
It
part
doesn't
story.
bother me as much as it used to. It
He,
still bothers me, but not as much as it used to.
so we went to the same college and he lived in Beaumont where Lamar is. I lived in Port Arthur, which was like 30 minutes away, and I didn't have a car. And I used to ride with my friends to school. And so he gave me his new brand car.
New 1983 silver Camaro with a gas card.
And he gave me his gas card and said, just pick me up for school in the mornings. Just
On time.
On time. We both lived at home. And I was always late.
She was late every morning.
But like I said, he didn't take the car or the gas card.
True love.
Okay, so from this, what made you guys want to commit? Actually commit instead of just dating? Was there a definitive moment?
No, there wasn't a definite moment. I mean, we knew pretty early on that we were going to be married, and
Yeah,
we were
I mean,
just-
it's pretty, we're just simpatico.
So it was an easy decision.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, we knew pretty, like, within
within
What?
a couple of
a
months
month,
or so.
yeah, that it was the real deal.
And that's what, I guess, how did you guys know when you were in love? Was there a...
We just wanted to be together all
Yeah.
the time.
Okay.
And we were happy together when we were with each other. It's pretty, I mean, you just knew, I mean, you
Yeah.
just, yeah, I mean, that's when we're when we're the happiest.
Sweet.
Aw.
What specific memories do you have from the wedding?
Well,
We-
so
You said you were nervous.
yeah, I wasn't nervous till the end, but our deal was that there was a big gap between the time we started dating and we actually got married. There was a space of time there.
Like
So
6 years.
yeah, because we thought we thought we should be financially ready, stable to be married, and that's the dumbest thing ever because you never are.
Yeah.
And so we waited, but anyway.
We
We wanted the wedding to be like a party. We didn't want it to be the kind of traditional. Although it was very traditional, we wanted it to be a party. Like my little brother's band was playing, as you saw in the pictures, and we funded the whole thing ourselves. We didn't get anything from our parents. We paid for it. We had all our best friends there, and we went and staged the rice pictures when you're going out of the church and they throw the rice, and then we went back in and shut it down. And actually, Evelina's friends were there, crashed in our on our honeymoon, the night we got married, and then we went to the big city of Galveston, Texas, for our
For your
honeymoon.
honeymoon?
Because we
Oh,
were
my
living
gosh.
in New York, in Syracuse.
okay.
Yeah,
And we came home to get married, so we just went to Galveston for our honeymoon.
yeah. So it was.
We never really had a big, fancy honeymoon.
Yeah,
No.
gotta get these kids out of college. We'll do that. So yeah, the wedding was awesome, and yeah, I wasn't nervous at all until I looked in and saw the church filling up with people, and then I got really nervous.
Yeah,
But it's to be expected.
It's understandable, yeah.
yeah.
So after you all got married and were together for a couple of years, what kind of adjustments did you have to make before you made the decision to become parents, have kids?
Oh well, again, we were waiting to become financially ready to do
Stable,
it.
yeah.
So stupid, yeah.
Because you're never ready.
Right.
Yeah, but in hindsight, all our friends, Mel and Craig, Wendell, all our best friends had already started having kids and had kids that were already 8, 9, 10 years old. And in hindsight, that was a really good decision that we waited to have kids because I think we're better parents because they had their kids very young and they were probably too young.
Yeah,
They've said that,
yeah,
as a matter of fact. So I think it was a great decision
yeah.
to wait.
The only regret is we probably would have had more kids. We probably would have had 4 kids.
Two's not good.
No, 2's great.
Two's good. Two's good. We would have had at least one.
Having 2 dark
Yeah.
Libbies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Two's good.
yeah, 2's good.
2 is fine. Alright, so I'm sure the wedding and the honeymoon and becoming parents were really happy moments in your relationship.
Very scary to become
Scary.
parents.
Yeah.
Very scary. It seems like yesterday we were driving away from the hospital with Meredith, and we couldn't believe that they were giving us this baby to take home. Like, you people are complete idiots.
We were in the car, we were like, what are they doing?
We don't know. I drove like 15 miles an hour all the way home with my hazard lights on.
Like, what are we doing with
I
the
had
baby?
no clue. The only thing that saved us was my sister, who was a professional mom at that point, and so
Yeah, Beth.
Yeah.
she helped us immensely.
Yeah.
That's
Because
great.
we were morons.
We were. One time we had Meredith. Meredith was like 6 months old. We were out in the pool at our first house, and I put sunscreen on her, head to toe, and she had a hat on. I mean, she was so protected. And we had her out in her little baby float, and we had a tree that covered part of the pool, so I kept her in this shade, but anyhow, I brought her inside after, I don't know, an hour or so, brought her inside, and she was red, her cheeks are red, and I was like, oh my gosh, I called Beth. I was like, Beth, oh my gosh, she's so red, She's like, Eva, she's hot. Y'all been outside in, it's August or something, or maybe you were a year old, I don't know, but anyhow.
We were stupid.
We were dumb. Yeah, we had no idea what we were doing.
So
Olivia was much easier.
Yeah,
because we knew what we were doing.
And you've come a long way since then. Not dumb anymore.
Not dumb anymore.
Oh no, we're still dumb.
We just don't make the same mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what were some of the happiest moments that you can remember right off the top of your head, other than those big moments?
The days the girls were born.
Right.
Yeah.
Sitting on the beach in Carmel, California, drinking wine, watching sea otters through the binoculars. That's pretty
That's
damn
pretty cool. Yeah. Just,
going to Mexico for the first time. That was a lot of fun.
yeah. Getting our first house.
Yeah, first house. That was scary. How are we going to pay for this house? It cost $108,000.
Oh my gosh,
that was like $1 million.
Yeah, and
how are we going to pay a
and how are we gonna
$600 a
fill it?
month
Yeah.
mortgage? I'd kill for that now.
yeah, and how are we gonna fill this house? It seemed
Huge.
so big. It was
Yeah.
How big was that house? Like 1,700 square
Oh, it
feet
wasn't
or
that big.
something? Because we went from a 1-bedroom apartment to a 3-bedroom house,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh my gosh. And, you fill it up within a year. You're like, oh, I need a bigger house now.
Yeah.
Cool memory for me is when, not that Princess Diana died, that was tragic, but when she died, I wanted to get up and watch her funeral, because in the U.S. it came on at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and Meredith woke up right when it was coming on. So I just sat in my recliner and watched the whole thing the whole time. That was
Because
pretty cool.
you were like a month old then.
Yeah.
So you remember that?
Oh yeah. Watch the little motorcade drive by. It's like, what's up, Diana? Bye.
Being with family, having big gatherings, Thanksgiving and that kind of thing, and, watching my nephews grow up. And
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an old cliche that says relationships have ups and downs.
Yeah.
And you'd say that's accurate based on what you've been through.
Actually, with our relationship, no. I mean, we don't really. It's really bizarre how simpatico we are. I mean, we get in little stupid, ridiculous disagreements, but nothing ever major.
We've never,
And that's all due to me.
because he knows how to say you're right, honey.
No, because we talk things out. I mean, we have a really good level of communication always.
Yeah.
We don't like tension. I hate tension. I like getting it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we get in disagreements, but we've never had really
no.
bad. And I think we consider ourselves we've been very lucky, but we've also worked really hard for everything we have.
Right.
We never got any help from our family, and so we're like, this is the good stuff, because we struggled for many, many years,
Yeah,
So
when
it's
we
like-
lived in Syracuse, I worked in an auto parts warehouse, and Evelina had a pretty good job, and we scraped by, and she got a part-time job at night at Sears calling people for home improvements, and then I got a much better job. That's when I got into sales, and but we've been stupid poor, and I think that's why we've had such a good relationship, because it was just us. When you move away from your friends and family and all your support to Syracuse, New York, where you don't know a soul, and you have to get along. It forces you to get along. So.
And and so we struggled, and it brought us closer together. Like some people it can
Tears
tear
you
you apart,
Right.
but us, we're like, man, we got through that.
We can get through anything.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Getting through hard times together.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. So 31 years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
How do you think your relationship is different now than it was 31 years ago?
We're more at ease with ourselves as people, I think. We don't really put too much stock into what other people think and what other people have. When we were younger, we did. When we were in our 20s and early 30s, my best friend is incredibly successful and has some of the things that back in my younger days I wished we had, but now I'm so much richer than him in so many ways now. It's kind of strange how that's all flip-flopped.
Yeah.
So we just focus on us. We don't worry about other people.
And you mature and you realize
Right.
that those material things aren't really important.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when we were young, we were in our 20s and early 30s, it was like, oh, we want the big house. And, one of his best friends who was best man in our wedding, they had the big house with the pool and
Trust
trust
fund,
fund,
everything you ever wanted, and he's gone through 3 wives.
yeah, he's been through 3 marriages and has
And
been
is incredibly
unfaithful
unhappy.
to, and isn't a part of our life anymore. But it's like, I mean, we did envy, the life they had, but
Right.
I wouldn't trade our lives for their lives,
Mm-hmm.
So I think just maturity.
Yeah.
Has, is probably what's changed, I guess.
Do you think that there were any big turning points that forced you guys to mature? Obviously, you've mentioned a few, but was there one that really, really made you grow up?
No, I think it's been a process.
Yeah,
process.
it has. And I mean, I think probably one of the biggest things we did was when I stopped working full time when
Yeah.
I was pregnant with Olivia, and we made the conscious decision that I was gonna, work part time to raise the girls,
Mhm.
and we struggled. I mean,
Yeah.
we drove really old cars. We didn't go on vacations. Our friends who I just said had Bruce's best friend, his wife remarried, and she and her husband had a beach house. They would lend us their beach house every summer so we could go on a vacation when the girls were little, because we couldn't afford to go
Mhm.
on fancy vacations or anything.
But that was a
But
conscious
that was a
decision we
choice
made.
we
We knew
made.
that
Right.
financially it was going to hurt us a little bit, and it did. But we came out of it very well. My professional career really exploded, kind of at the tail end when Evelina was considering going back to work, and so it all worked out. It was a wonderful decision that Evelina was home with the kids, was able to take care of them and give them the kind of mother that we both had growing up,
Mhm.
which is rare these days.
And now you get to go to the ranch,
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
and that's
yeah.
that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
No, it gets a lot better. Yeah.
So y'all have obviously had a very successful relationship,
Yep.
and that's not typical,
Yeah.
especially right now. So, how come, in your own personal beliefs, why do some relationships work and others don't? And can you think of an example of one that hasn't worked out as well?
Yeah, I mean, we have friends that the husband and wife tend to keep score
Mm-hmm.
on, well, I had the kids the last weekend, it's your turn, or I had to do this today, so now you have to do this, and it's just so childish. You're either a team or you're not.
Yeah, that's the that's the main thing, is a team. We don't have it's Bruce and me. It's it's us together.
We just get it. We just get things done. We're
Yeah.
very hard workers, kind of type A people, and we're not lazy, and we work very hard in our professional lives, but we also work very hard at home and on our relationship. I mean, that's just who we are. Our personalities are so similar. I always tell people I married a female me.
But I'm just a lot cuter.
Why is that so funny?
Yeah, Meredith, why is that so funny?
But I think, it's amazing. I mean, I tell my girls all the time that, I'm around grown people, right? So I have 45 people that report to me that are all salespeople, that are all type A, and their levels of maturity are all over the place. Meredith is much more mature than most of the adults that I come in contact with. Because it's all about me, me, me. They're very selfish and self-centered, and it's unbelievable how people act that are supposed to be grown adults.
Yeah, and the way I think that's the thing that I always have Bruce's back. Like I'm always looking out for him, and it's like I see people like that are a couple that like the way they talk about each other, and it's like that I would no more badmouth Bruce. I mean, I would know, I think that's one of the thing is people, it's not a team, and it's all me. And I think that's, I don't know. I don't know if that's a generalization about a lot of couples, but that's what I see.
Well, there's a whole lot of friends of ours who aren't married anymore or been married before. Not that that's wrong.
If you're
not
in a
making
bad
any adjustments.
relationship,
Yeah,
you should get out of
absolutely.
You shouldn't stay.
Staying in for the kids or whatever is the stupidest thing in the
'Cause
world.
life
you're
is short.
You're showing kids really bad modeling behavior, so that's dumb. I'm not making any judgments because we've been married for a long time and have a successful relationship. It's to each his own, but it just seems like there's a lot of selfishness among people.
Yeah, it's a good point. Teamwork is really important.
Yeah.
All right, so finally, what stands out about your parents' relationship? And how do you think that has rubbed off on yours, if it has at all?
Yeah, well, that's interesting because I have a much different experience than Evelina does.
Yeah.
So my parents were Ward and June Cleaver. You don't know who that is, but there was a show back in the 60s called Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Leave It to Beaver? Yeah.
And they were
His mom and dad.
they were kind of the all-American family and that kind of thing. And that's how I was raised. Very loving, supportive from both mother and father. Always knew I was loved. Showed that all the time. And so that's how we have raised our kids. And so Evelina, well, you can talk to that.
Yeah. My family not. I mean, dysfunctional is an understatement of my family. But my parents, I don't know if it was a generational thing, because my parents married older than normal back then. And my dad, if he were still alive, would be 96 this year.
Yeah, but your mother and my dad were the same age, so
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
yeah.
that much of a
My
generation.
mom, very, just not a real feeling, not a real warm, I always am like, where did I come from? Because my brothers and sisters, I have 4 brothers and sisters, and we had I guess a normal childhood, but it's just, we weren't real, there wasn't a lot of communication in our family. There was no communication in our family. And, my parents took care of me, physically and all that, but I don't know. I didn't have a real good role models for how a relationship should
Right.
be. My dad was very old school and very, man is head of the household and you follow my rules and very stern. He was a fun guy, but he was very strict as far as I'm the king of the castle kind of thing, And my mom was very subservient and just not real loving. And so I don't know where I got it from. I don't know. I had my type group of girlfriends
Right.
that, they had families that I was around a lot, so I guess I got that. And then when Bruce and I got together, we had a lot
Yeah,
of...
Evelina became my parents' 4th child.
Yeah,
She very much was their daughter.
Yeah. So, I didn't have a good, role models for how it should be, but I knew the kind of mom I wanted to be,
Right.
the kind of wife I wanted to be, and so, I'm real proud of the family that we've built.
And her brothers and sisters still to this day struggle with communication and showing affection and speaking their mind.
Yeah.
They never got out of it. They're
Yeah.
still stuck in it.
Yeah,
It's
just-
really sad to see.
Because I'm real open. where you stand
Yeah.
with me. I'm real and I, so because life's so short. It's
Yeah.
like, why, and
Be direct.
Yeah.
Tell people your feelings.
Yeah,
Tell them
so-
how you feel about them. They might not be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
so.
All right. Is there anything else y'all would like to add? Any signature catchphrases or anything?
Signature catchphrases. I
No.
don't think so.
But we do have a
Just-
secret handshake.
we
Do
do
the,
have-
do the handshake. Do the handshake.
with eyes closed?
No, that'll be a mess.
All right,
be
now
a
look,
mess
you
with
tend
a
to
husband.
screw this up,
Okay.
so just slow down, okay?
Okay, we'll go do it slow. Okay.
Not slow, like medium speed,
Okay.
right? Look at me in the eye,
I
too. Don't
haven't
look at
done
your
it in
hand.
so long.
That's okay, ready?
It's not even that complicated.
Oh, no. We missed about 4 steps.
Yeah.
We'll implement it more.
No, I would just say it's been a hell of a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun together.
Yeah. We do. And
Yeah.
truly, I mean, it's like, there's no one I would rather be hanging out with.
Yeah.
You know, and
Me?
that's, huh? Yeah,
No.
well, then Meredith and Olivia.
No.
Non-dark Olivia.
Light Libby.
Yeah, light Libby. Yeah.
Like living.
But no, I guess that's it.
All right. Bruce and Evelina Warren signing off. Rainy day in Austin, Texas, October 24th, 2015. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Deuces. Wait, deuces.